So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to the iPhone 11 Pro versus the iPhone 12 Pro speed test. Let's begin with a boot up in 3, 2, and 1 and see which one could get there first. Now keep in mind that the iPhone 11 Pro is rocking the A13 Bionic chipset coupled with 4 gigs of RAM, and the iPhone 12 Pro is rocking the Apple A14 Bionic chipset coupled with 6 gigs of RAM. So a 5nm chip on the right, and we do have a 7nm on the left. And the iPhone 12 Pro boots up far ahead over the iPhone 11 Pro. Okay guys, so when it comes to Face ID, I'm not really seeing much of a difference. So when you look at these phones, they both unlock at about the same time here. We'll look again, and you can see about the same time on both. So no real upgrades in speed on Face ID. I mean, that's some area where Apple could improve. If they're going to put Face ID, maybe we can make it a little bit faster to respond, maybe unlock without even needing a swipe. But the iPhone 12 Pro is exactly the same as using the 11 Pro in this respect. Okay guys, so when it comes to the feel of these phones, they're both equally as smooth, meaning that the 12 Pro is actually no smoother than that of the 11 Pro. So if you have the 11 Pro and you're looking for a speed bump, I don't think you're going to see it much here, at least in the general performance. There's no ProMotion here. Let's go ahead and close everything out and get on to the application test. Okay guys, so here we are at the app test. Let's go ahead and go into Instagram, and you can see faster there for the iPhone. It looked like the iPhone 12 Pro, honestly. We'll go through the scrolling here. Very similar. We're going to go into Twitter now, and Twitter loads at about the same time. We'll go into profile pages, and you can see very similar. Let's go into Amazon, and you can see Amazon loads up at about the same time. So doing stuff on the day-to-day is going to be very similar. We'll go to eBay. You can see eBay slightly faster there for the iPhone 12 Pro. Clicking on these XM4s, very similar when in application performance. We'll go into weather, and you're checking the weather, about the same. We'll go into calculator. Again, very similar. Groupon. And this one looks like it's going to the 12 Pro by a hair. We'll go into categories. And how about tickets and events? You can see very similar. Let's go ahead and dine in at the movies. And you could see a very similar experience. We'll go to YouTube, and we'll go straight over here to the Explore tab, and we're going to head into trending. And you could see loading up YouTube at about the same time. No matter what you're doing here, you're going to have a very similar experience. You're going up 0.3 inches in screen size though. Let's go into App Store. You can see that's faster for the 12 Pro. Games, a little bit faster for the 12 Pro. And Today tab faster on the 11 Pro. We'll go over here to Arcade, and you could see sometimes the 11 Pro, sometimes the 12 Pro. We'll head over here into ESPN, and we'll go here to scores. Once it does load up, looks like the 12 Pro a little bit faster. And there you go. So very good there. Let's go into news on both of them. We'll go over here to News Plus and see how this News Plus loads up. You could see it about the same time. How about PC World Magazine? And there we go, scrolling through. Very similar. Let's go into Apple TV. And again, the iPhone 12 Pro. Looks like the 12 Pro is taking a hair of a lead, just a little bit, like so small. But still a little bit. Let's go into Mortal Kombat and see if it can take a little bit more of a lead in the gaming. But so far, looks like you better be upgrading for the square edges. You better be upgrading for the bigger screen, a different design, because that's really all you're doing here. If you decide to give Apple $1,000 to do an upgrade here, or if you trade your iPhone 11 Pro, you might actually get it for a lot cheaper than $1,000. But surprisingly, the iPhone 11 Pro loads up Mortal Kombat here faster than the 12 Pro, so that's a little strange. And you can see now in the game, looks like we're ready to go. So the iPhone 11 Pro with that first game win. Let's go into PUBG. And now it looks like we have a lead for the 12 Pro. So yeah, maybe that was a fluke on Mortal Kombat, or maybe the 11 Pro was just better optimized. But you can see, yeah, the iPhone 12 Pro definitely beat the iPhone 11 Pro here on this load up. And now we're getting all these, rewards and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and continue here. X out of here. And here we go. So let's go ahead and hit start match on both of them. and see which one actually matches up first. And you can see it looks like which one's actually going to hit that match first. See, once you're in the app, are you really going to be thinking about, do I have an A14 or do I have an A13? Probably not. You're going to be thinking about what to do in the game. Looks about the same though in performance. So I think both of these are going to run in games for years just fine. Let's go into Temple Run, a more casual game. Most basic phones could run this game right here. We'll go ahead and hit main menu and we'll hit yes here. We'll hit play, and both of them playing at a very similar speed here. These phones will tear through these easy games. Let's go into iMovie, and you can see the iPhone 12 Pro faster there, and we'll wrap it up there. We'll do Geekbench tests in a little bit. So let's go ahead now and go through the backwards, like the RAM management of these phones, to see if we do get any reloads here when going through them. Now, iOS likes to pause sometimes. It makes you think it's not reloading. But so far, looking so good here on both of them. Now, I never really had much of a problem with the 11 Pro day to day, but I will say when I was trying to do heavy multitasking, I still had to switch to my Samsung phone because this phone would actually reload apps when doing heavy stuff, definitely a lot. So I didn't like that. So I am looking forward to seeing how the 6 gigs of RAM does in the real world. I'll give you more updates in my full review of the 12 Pro, which I'm still in the testing phase. Looks like the 11 Pro on Groupon did pause it a little bit there. And calculator, pretty good here on both. We'll go into weather. Pretty good here on both. And let's go into eBay. And again, pretty good on eBay, Amazon. And a reload there for the 11 Pro. That's what I'm talking about right there. Twitter, another reload for the 11 Pro. So the 6 gigs of RAM will help on the iPhone 12 Pro, especially when having multiple applications open. So when in browsing, I will say that this one does have 5G, but we are doing Wi-Fi here. We're going to do a browser test. I haven't been seeing 5G to be a major difference in your day-to-day life. It seems more like an LTE Plus right now, as it's not fully widely available across the world. Let's go ahead and hit start now. But still, it's a future upgrade. So it gives you more longevity out of your iPhone, so it's definitely worth it. Let's see how they actually refresh these pages, and we'll see 105.3 milliseconds here, 85.6. So the actual speed of loading up pages and web browsing will be faster on the 12 Pro. Scrolling speed will be the same. Pinch to zooming on your iPhone 12 Pro will be the same. Not that you had a complaint before, but again, these are all little areas that can add up to a smoother experience, and a 120 hertz display will change that on the 13 if they decide to finally bring that. It will make it a little bit smoother to pinch to zoom, a little bit smoother to scroll as well. Okay guys, so we're going to render out this 4K clip here. This is 5 minutes. It's the same video. I'm going to go ahead and hit save video here, and we're going to hit save video here. We're going to do this in 4K, of course. 3, 2, 1, and see which one can actually finish this task first. So the iPhone 12 Pro, again, 5nm chipset, 6 gigs of RAM, the most up to date, and then over here, A13 Bionic chip with 4 gigs of RAM. Let's see which one comes out on top. I'll be back when they are done. Okay, and as expected, the iPhone 12 Pro has won out of this render test, not by a lot, but I think as the video gets longer, it will flex its muscle on that A14 chip. So this is some of the areas where you will see a power increase, but you're not going to see it much in day-to-day tasks as we've seen throughout this speed test. So we're going to run a CPU benchmark here in Geekbench, and I'll be back when the final scores are in. Okay guys, so here are the final scores, and you can't really knock the 11 Pro too much. It's doing fantastic. 400 points better on the 12 Pro, a couple hundred on the single core for the 12 Pro, but I have seen the 12 Pro bench a little bit higher. It might be because we just ran a bunch of applications. It might be a little bit overtaxed right now, the CPU, so that might be why the score is a little bit lower than it can be. But at the same time, I do believe that the 11 Pro still holds its own very well next to the iPhone 12 Pro. It just doesn't have a 5G chip. So in the final conclusion of this video, the iPhone 12 Pro is the slight winner in speed test, but I really want to emphasize slight because you shouldn't upgrade on the basis of speed. You should upgrade on the basis that you love this new color, maybe you love this stainless steel, these squared edges where the phone could stand up on its own like it used to. Maybe you love, the upgrades to the HDR video. Maybe you just want the 5G chip so you're future-proofed in mobile performance. These are the reasons to upgrade, not really because of the speed. So let me know your thoughts on this. Do you have the 11 Pro? Do you have the 12 Pro? Are you considering upgrade? Is this like making you think like maybe not? Or are you still waiting for the Mini and the Pro Max? Let me know what other videos you want to see down below. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your Sunday. I'll catch you all in the next episode, and peace.